I'm built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse. Bond, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Hope everybody's having a great day. We are live on YouTube and Facebook right now, so make sure you like, share, subscribe on each platform. We are on the on our way to 1,000 subscribers. You know, we just hit 100 subscribers last week, so it's been great, man. Definitely excited to talk about everything that's going on today. Make sure you tune into all the shows on the R2L network and tune in tomorrow night at 7 p.m. to watch me and Joe from the R2L network debate against GOAT James Kingdom on the GOAT debate between Michael Jordan and LeBron James. It's going to be a great show. Can't wait to talk about that for sure. Shout out to Daniel for being the first to comment. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you too, sir. Hope you're having a great day. But man, I got some newcomers. I got some people coming out of the doghouse, and then of course we got some big dogs, and we got the big dog of the week. So can't wait to talk about all of that. Like I said, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button. And let's make sure we have some fun today because it's only right. So let's go ahead and get started. Finally out. We have a whole lot of people in the doghouse right now. Now we have some players and some teams that may possibly be coming out very soon, but some of these in here you can see that they're not going to be coming out anytime soon. University of North Carolina just hired Bill Belichick as their head coach for the next 5 seasons. So, hey, congratulations to UNC. But some of these just may be here for a good little while. Who knows? We will see. Some people may get put out just because they aren't going to be out of jail anytime soon. So, who knows? But let's talk about our first candidate to be out of the doghouse. It's the Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota Timberwolves, who was recently put in, was actually on a huge losing streak, losing 7 of their last 9 games. But most recently, the Timberwolves have actually been winning some games and actually playing a lot better now, which bodes well for them. The Minnesota Timberwolves have the best defensive rating over the last 5 games, people. Over the last 5 games. With a 93.8. So that lets you know that they're doing the right things on defense to win. And not only are they doing that, they won 4 of the last 5 games, 3 by double digits, only 1 by single digit. That was against the Clippers. They won 93-92. And the only loss they had was most recently this past Sunday when they lost to the Warriors 114-106. But other than that, the Minnesota Timberwolves have seemed to fix things. They're starting to come into their own. You know, they're starting to formulate what their team is supposed to look like. You know, they were known for defense last year with Alexander Walker, Anthony Edwards, of course, and all the other good defenders on the team. So let's see how this is going to bode well for them. But they are now out the doghouse. So congratulations to you guys. Next out of the doghouse is one of my favorite players in the on my team. Shout out to my man Javon. I appreciate you for tuning in, my guy. This guy, I hold very highly on the Miami Heat, and he deserved to be in here when he was put in here, but now he's coming out of the doghouse, and that is Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo. Bam, it's my guy. He's an all-star. He's an Olympic gold medalist. He's one of the best defenders in the league. But he started off slow. He was shooting 30.8% in layups this season. So early in the season, he just wasn't playing well. He had games where he scored 8 points. It just wasn't looking right. But after last night and a couple of other games that he's had before, last night in the win against the Toronto Raptors, he put up 21 points, 16 rebounds, and 6 assists. He now ties Alonzo Mourning for the second most double-doubles in Miami Heat history. So he's been doing well, And then in another game before that, when we upset the Cleveland Cavaliers, he had 16 points, 13 rebounds, shooting 50% from the field and 3-point. So he was shooting good everywhere. And like I said, there was an upset against the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's played better. He had another game where he put up 25 points, which was just I believe that's his second most points he's scored this season. 25, 12, and 8, shooting 56% from the field. So he's starting to play a lot better. He's starting to play like the Bam that I expected him to. So now Bam Adebayo's out of the doghouse, and thank you for getting out of the doghouse. Bam. All right, now we head to the doghouse. Who will be in the doghouse for the foreseeable future until they find out what they're going to do to get out? Now, this person has only played in a few games this season. Drafted out of Duke University, plays for the New Orleans Pelicans, Zion Williamson. Now, this has been a request, a heavy request from a lot of people who watch the show, and they said that, they feel like I've been giving Zion a pass. Look, I'm a Duke fan, so I have to admit, I kind of sort of was giving him a pass, or I just wasn't. I didn't really know what to say when it comes to Zion, because it's like when he plays, it's great, but he's not really there. He's coming off a season where he played the most games in his career. He played 70 games last year. That was the most he's ever played in his career. But so far this year, Zion Williamson has only played in 6 games. And we don't know when he's going to come back. He's out for at least another 2 weeks. There's been a lot of things that's been talked about when it comes to Zion. It was the whole, oh, wow, we have a trade that has happened in the NBA. Live on Days of the Doghouse, we get to talk about a trade that just happened. Thomas Bryant of the Miami Heat has been traded to the Indiana Pacers. And it's just a swap for second-round picks. Wow. I've been crying to have him gone, and now he's with the Indiana Pacers. So thank you, Indiana, for taking Thomas Bryant. Back to Zion. Wow. Wow. That's amazing news. That is amazing news. Wow. Ty, if you're watching, man, thank you for taking Thomas Bryant. I've been asking you for so long, and y'all finally listened. Appreciate it. But yeah, Zion just has not been up to par to where he's supposed to be as far as your potential. You're supposed to be this great talent, generational talent in the NBA, and we know what you're capable of. And we know when you play great and you make a difference, but you ain't making a difference when you're not playing. And if I hold Joel Embiid to the same thing, and along with like Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and all the other guys who are out for a while because of injuries, I got to hold you to the same thing. So, you too busy sliding in DMs, not eating right. So Zion, you just got to do better. Plain and simple. You got to do better. And until then, you're in the doghouse. My guy, you in the doghouse. And we're going to move on to the very next player. Another player on one of my favorite teams. Someone I've defended a lot, but he's not absolved from any criticism at all. And he's a dynamic player. You wouldn't say that he's one of the best wide receivers in the league, but when he plays his game, he can make a difference. And that's Deebo Samuel. Deebo. I'm not sure what's been going on with you. And T.O. said something about it before. Seems like you're too busy worried about your pregame outfits than you are with your actual performance on the field. Now, there has been multiple conversations about Deebo as far as how he performs and how he looks when he's going into the locker room. And I'm not here to talk about, the way he dresses. That's the style these days for some people. That's the way they choose. That's on them. But Deebo, the last 5 games in receiving, you have been absolutely terrible. Let's be honest about it. Week 11, 4 catches for 22 yards, 0 touchdowns. Week 12, 1 catch for 21 yards, 0 touchdowns. Week 13, 4 catches for 20 yards, 0 touchdowns. Week 14, 2 catches for 22 yards, 0 touchdowns. Last night in the first half, you had 7 targets with 3 catches and 16 yards and 0 touchdowns. And you had 2 drops in that game. You had 2 drops in that game. You had 2 carries with a total of 3 yards, averaging 1.5 yards per carry. And you had a false start penalty and tackled your own teammate in the process of that. Now, you are great when it comes to the kickoff return and everything like that, but that's not what you are here for. You're here to make a difference on the offense. Now, you could say that people have figured out the way the wide back thing when it comes to you being a wide receiver and a running back at the same time, and it's not successful anymore. And maybe you could put that on Kyle Shanahan, but the receiving is on you. Now, I get it. You haven't been getting targeted as much as you think that you should have. But last night, there was no excuse to that because you got the ball thrown your way multiple times. And the one play where you could have changed the alteration of the game and we possibly could have won. Who knows what the situation may be, but it would have at least sparked the offense some. You dropped the ball when it was given to you and you were wide open on a slant. Deebo, I'm not saying that you need to be gone because that's one thing I'll never say. I don't think you need to be traded. I don't think you need to be cut. I think you belong in San Francisco. But if you're going to talk about not getting targets, then you have to make the plays when the plays are given to you, when the opportunities are given to you. If you're not making plays when the opportunities given to you, then opportunities may be taken away. Let's just be honest about it. That's what happens in the NFL. That's what happens in sports. So what are you going to do to improve that? I don't know. But right now, Deebo Samuel, you are in the doghouse. My guy, you in the doghouse. Now we get to the dogs of the week. And one of my favorite, no, I can't. That would be false. But a guy on my team who has played the best out of anyone this season on the Miami Heat, a guy that I root for, but a guy I've also heavily criticized, has been the most consistent player on the team. And yes, I'm talking about boy wonder, Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero has played the best this season for the Miami Heat, who are right now the fifth seed in the Eastern Conference. It's still early in the season. I understand it. It's before Christmas, but we're riding a 4-game winning streak at home. We're 6-0 in the Heat culture red uniforms, and we're over 500. That's something to celebrate a little bit. The last few years we've been, hovering around the play-in and been the play-in the last 2 seasons at least. And it's like, why does this is not Miami Heat basketball? But the way that they're playing now, defensively they're playing better. Offensively, we're playing better. Like I said, Jimmy's playing well. Duncan has been contributing. Jaime Jaquez has contributed. Bam, I talked about him before. And Tyler Hero has just been balling, man. Last night, he had 23 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Against Cleveland, he had 34 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. Against Phoenix in a game that we won, even though Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal did not play. He put up 17, 8, and 7. And then against the Lakers in a blowout game, we beat him by 41 points. He put up 31, 5, and 9. He made 9 3-pointers that night. That was the second time in his career he's made 9 3-pointers or more. So the team has just been playing well with him. He had another game he put up 31. Another game he put up 27, 8, and 5. Tyler Hero is also one of 7 players in the NBA that's averaging 25 and 5 on 60% true shooting percentage. The other players are SGA, Steph, Jokic, Giannis, Sabonis, and Jalen Williams. So this is a huge upgrade from what he has been before. He's playing a lot better now, and he's winning. That's the most important thing, is that he's winning right now, and he's leading the charge. His points per game are up. So shout out to Tyler Hero, and welcome to the Dogs, Tyler. Next on the list for the Dogs. This team resides in Memphis, and it has been known for a long time as one of the toughest teams in the NBA. To begin the season, their starting player, he had some injuries, wasn't really able to play for real, but came back and immediately made a difference coming back off of injury. Also one of the best defensive teams over the last 5 games. It's the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis Grizzlies, people, have a defensive rating over the last 5 games of 108.5. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8th. 7th out of the best teams in the last 5 games. It is crazy how good these guys have played. 9-1 over the last 10 games, which is tied for first in the NBA. First in opponent's field goal percentage, first in opponent's 3-point percentage, first in the NBA in points per game, and second in net rating. They have been playing very well with Ja Morant coming back. They have some good players in Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr. And right now, the power rankings for them are 5th in the NBA, with the Cavaliers first, Celtics second, the Thunder third, the Mavericks 4th, and the Grizzlies are 5th. Those are the latest NBA power rankings that we receive. And the Grizzlies have just been doing all things they need to do to continue to win. Playing great defense, playing offense, playing together as a team. So shout out to the Memphis Grizzlies, and may they continue to keep putting in work and just showing who they really are, man. The Grizzlies are a really good team in the NBA and the Western Conference, and it seems like they want to be fighting for a spot and have a chance to win the title this year. But like I said, it's early on in the season, but they're making a change and making differences. So shout out to the Grizzlies. Welcome to the Dogs. Another team who has, I guess you can say, caught some people by surprise about how good they've played so far this year. Depending on who you talk to, don't know. But this team has been doing some amazing things offensively and defensively, led by one of their best players who has led them to a, led them to a Eastern Conference appearance just a few seasons ago, when no one expected it. Honestly, I was one of those people that didn't expect it, but and their best player is cold, man. He's cold, but you don't really hear about this team a lot. Shout out to RBO. He has my guy Vaughn. He has talked about him, and my guy Teddy has also talked about him before. He picked him to win the tournament, so we'll see. But I'm talking about the Atlanta Hawks. Atlanta Hawks have been one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference this year, man, and they just been showing it, man. They have one of the best winning percentage against the Eastern Conference top 9 seeds, with basically an 88% win percentage against the top 9 seeds in the Eastern Conference. Not good against the bottom 6 seeds. They seem to have some struggle there. They have only a 38% win percentage against those bottom 6 seeds, but I don't know. It needs to improve somehow. But they have guys like DeAndre Hunter, who's been balling. Over his last 8 games, he's averaging 22.4 points per game, splits of 52, 52, 87, 69% true shooting percentage, and they are 7-1 in those last 8 games. 7-1. They've beaten the Bucks, the Knicks, and the Cavs twice over that stretch. And Trae Young, Ice Trae, that's what he does all the time, was rolling the dice and at MSG, Madison Square Garden against the Knicks, man. And he's averaging 26.3 points per game in the Garden, which is the most points by a point guard when playing at the Garden in the 3-point era. This is now the 3-point era, of course. So in this era, he has the most points per game by any point guard. That's, point guard. I'm talking about like Steph, SGA, Kyrie Irving. You can name a bunch of other point guards in the league. He's averaging more than Ja Morant. It doesn't matter who you name. He's playing a lot better in MSG than anyone else. He is literally the evil villain. And the Hawks have the best record in the NBA since Thanksgiving. So they went in and enjoyed some turkey and came back out and just balled out for the rest of that time. And Dyson Daniels, a great defender in that team. In 24 games this season, 73 steals, 22 blocks. The last player to have those kind of stats was Michael Jordan in 1988, 1989. So that right there lets you know that the Hawks are nothing to be played with. They are a team out here balling and doing a lot of good things defensively and offensively, beating the top teams in the Eastern Conference. And they're playing very, very well right now. So shout out to the Hawks, Trae Young, DeAndre Hunter, Jalen Johnson, Dyson Daniels, Clint Capella, DeAndre, Bogdanovic. You can name all the players for the team, but they have been balling. So shout out to the Hawks, man, and welcome to the Dogs. And again, shout out to RBO for, being the first to talk about how good these Hawks are, especially guys like Jalen Johnson and Dice Daniels. Now we got to talk about, I believe, is the best team in the Western Conference right now. This is my belief when it comes to these guys. This team has the second best, or is tied for the second best net rating in a season. And the season, of course, is not over yet. But right now, they are tied for the second best in NBA history. Not just this season, not last season, but in NBA history, they're tied for the second best net rating in a season. It's still early on, but it's still huge. And this team was the number 1 seed last year. And it looks like they're here to capture it again and improve on what they did last year. I'm talking about none other than the Oklahoma City Thunder, led by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Lou Dort, and one of their best players isn't even playing right now. Chet Holmgren is not even playing at this moment. Isaiah Hartenstein is back now. He's been back for a good little while now. He's been making the differences. He's been there. That was a huge signing in free agency. But the Thunder, when I said they have the second best net rating in the season, the highest was 13.4 by the Bulls in 95-96 when they won the title. They are tied with the Bulls for second from the 1996, the other year that the Bulls won the title. Also, the Warriors in 2016-2017 was 11.6, also won the title. So, there's a trend there, but like I said, the season is not over yet, so we can't say anything about that. But all I'm saying is they're on a trajectory to at least get to the finals. That's what it looks like right now. They have the 4th best defensive net rating over the last 5 games at 105.6. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, along with Jason Tatum of the Boston Celtics, were named the players of the month last month. So shout out to those 2 guys, Jason Tatum and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. SGA over his last 14 games, y'all. 33.1 points per game, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, splits of 53, 38, 84, 65% true shooting percentage, and a plus minus 171. Plus 171. He's up to plus 290 this season, which leads the league. In the last game against the Mavs, for them to punch their ticket to the NBA Cup semifinals, he put up 39 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals. The Mavericks had a higher field goal percentage and 3-point percentage in that game, but lost by double digits. Isaiah Hartenstein in that game had 10 points, 13 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds, 8-1 in games that he plays. 8-1. They've only lost 1 game. So in 9 games he played at 8-1, which is crazy. And it's the best defensive team in the league. What they did was they held Luka to 16 points in that game and held Kyrie to 17 points in that game. Luka Doncic that night had 5 buckets and 6 turnovers. He was put in the torture chamber. Luka shot 33% from the field in that game. Had 11 rebounds and only 5 assists. So he couldn't even get anyone else involved. That's how good their defense was that night. The SGA is on track to have his 3rd season with 30 points per game while shooting 50% from the field. The only other guard to have more seasons like that was Michael Jordan. No other guard has done that. So that lets you know that they are balling. They're having a great season, and they're doing. They look like they're on a revenge tour. They look like they want to make a statement this season, And right now, that statement is we're the best team in the West. So shout out to the Thunder. Welcome to the Dogs. This next young NBA team in the Western Conference is a team that I was high on last season after they hired their new head coach and made some moves in the offseason to get some players. But I feel like this team here is definitely making some of the right moves right now. Houston Rockets, man. Houston Rockets. They just beat the Warriors for the first time in their last 16 games. They were 0-15 before they played them the other night. And now they are in the NBA Cup semis. They're in the NBA Cup semifinals. And they're going to be playing against the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Rockets, man, are just they're good. 8-2 over their last 10 games. 8-2. That is the third best record. The third best record in the NBA. That was their first win against the Warriors since February 20th, 2020. So that was 4 years ago. 4 years and 10 months ago. That was almost 5 years ago. Almost 5 years ago. Which is the last time they got a win against the Warriors. That is ridiculous. Alfred Sengun in that win put up 26 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and 55% from the field. Jalen Green had a massive dunk in that game. This team is, I really like this Rockets team. I really do. You know, having their head coach, Ime Udoka, you know, they got Dylan Brooks there. They got Steven Adams on the bench, Alfred Sengun, Jalen Green. They got some players on this team that are really good, man. And I think that they can make a difference this season. I really think that they can make a push for the playoffs, not worry about the play-in, and make some noise, man. Because I know Ime Udoka, he led the Warriors. He led the Celtics to the finals before. He led them to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, this guy knows what he's doing. He's a really good coach, and defense is something that he prides on. And this team is playing good defense. They're playing good defense. That game is against the Warriors. You would think Steph would cause a problem for them, but he didn't really cause that big of a problem. And the Rockets they're playing really good this season, and I really like what they're doing. And I'm impressed. I am very much impressed about what this team has been doing, and I'm proud of this Rockets team. And it's like I said before, of all these other teams, it's early in the NBA season. I get it, but I don't think anyone thought that they would be that successful this early, especially this early in the season. No one, you know, healthy. I think if Alfred Sengun doesn't get hurt last year, they make the play-in or make the playoffs. I really do. This team is really that good. And they have all the right players around them. So shout out to them. Can't forget about Amin Thompson as well. Also another guy that makes a difference on this team. So shout out to the Rockets, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Welcome to the Dogs. Now we get to talk about some individual players. And this player is a MVP, a finals MVP, has a family member in the NBA, plays on one of the best teams in the NBA. He's one of the best players in the NBA. He was once considered the best player in the NBA for a while. I think we all believe that's Joker now. But let's not sniff at what this guy's been doing. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis is one of 3 players that have 1,000 plus points, rebounds, and assists this season. That's all together. It's one of three. SGA is the other one. The other one you'll find out later. Giannis over his last 12 games. These are the numbers he's had over the last 12 games. 59 points, 42 rebounds, 7 assists. 22 points, 15 rebounds, 12 assists. 20 points, 14 rebounds, shooting 52% from the field. 41 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. 37 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists. 32 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. 42 points, 12 rebounds, 11 assists. 28 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists. 31 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. 30 and 11, 52%. 34 and 11, 63%. 37.7 rebounds, 4 blocks. Those are MVP-esque numbers. Caught you off guard. You thought it was LeBron. Nope, not LeBron. Not LeBron. I'm talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo. He is one of 7 players this season averaging 25 and 5 on 60% true shooting percentage. I talked about Tyler Hero before, and I already talked about SGA. Giannis is also on that list. Giannis is also on that list. He's a 2-time MVP. He's a finals MVP. And Giannis, along with Damian Lillard and Bobby Portis and a bunch of other players on this Bucks team, are also in the semis. They play against the Hawks. We'll see how that game's going to go to see who's going to go to the NBA Cup Finals. It's going to be interesting to see. But Giannis has been balling. He also has the most consecutive games of 20 plus points on 50% shooting with 21. And this is active right now. This is in history. This is in one season. Shaq had 25 in 2001. Zion had 25 in 2021. Giannis has 21 this year. Karl Malone had 20 in 1989, and Wilt Chamberlain, we all know what Wilt is capable of scoring wise. Had 19 in 1966. He's been on a tear, man. He's been on a tear. It's not really much I can really say too much about Giannis, other than he's one of the best players in the NBA. Top 5, top 3, no matter where you put him at, he's up there. And he looked like he want to win another MVP. He wants to win another MVP. He wants another MVP award. So as long as he keep playing well and the Bucks keep winning, he's going to be in that conversation. So Giannis, welcome to the Dogs. Down to our last two. Now, I already said, yeah, JB has dunked on a few people this season. So, I mean, and I'm not saying Jimmy dunked on him too, just saying. But I said that the other player I'll be talking about soon. That was also on that list. He is considered the best player in the NBA. He is also an MVP. He's a 3-time MVP and an NBA Finals MVP against my Miami Heat, unfortunately. He absolutely, Mike. Absolutely, Mike. But he goes by many names. Nikola Jokic is who I'm talking about. The Joker. Let's face it, there's nothing that the Joker can't do. He rebounds, he assists, he scores. He has a mid-range. He can shoot in the paint. He can shoot from three. He's a good free throw shooter. And he plays defense. He's not one of the best, but he ain't trash when it comes to defense. Look at that Joker card. He's a Joker for a reason, man. He's one of the best players in the NBA. He's the best player in the NBA. He is averaging the most in this stat that I'm about to name right now since the merger. This is points per game plus rebounds per game plus assists per game. He's averaging 56 this season of all those together. So you're at least going to get 56 out of him per game this season when it comes to points, rebounds, and assists altogether. No player has averaged more than 53 since the merger. No player. Not Braun, not Kobe, not Dwayne Wade, not Melo, not Jordan. No one. He's the only person to have ever done this. He's the only active player to record these numbers at least. 55 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists in the game. 25 points, 20 rebounds, 10 assists, 3 steals in the game. 35 points, 15 assists, 15 rebounds, 3 steals in the game. And he's done that all within the last 30 days. That's within the last month, people. Not the last year. This last month. Or not even the last few years. He's done that within the last 30 days. He had a stretch, a 2-game stretch of where he scored 104 points, 30 rebounds, and 16 assists. Just in 2 games. One of those games he lost, of course. But in December, he's averaging 39 points, 15 rebounds, and 9 assists. He had games where he scored 48, 56, 27, 38, 28. Rebounds, 14, 16, 20, 10, 14. Assists, 8, 8, 11, 6, 11. What can you do against Joker? It's like you make him score, but then if he scores, he could take over the game. If he's not scoring, then he's assisting, and then that's just going to open up his scoring. I don't. Someone tell me how to stop him. Tell me how to stop him, because I'm not sure what it's going to be. But there's only been 2 players in NBA history to average 30 points per game on 50% shooting and 40% from 3-point in a season. Steph Curry, who was the unanimous MVP that season, and Jokic so far this year. I don't know what else I need to say about that guy, but right, Mike, you don't have the answers, Sway. You don't have the answers, but Jokic, best player in the NBA. Welcome to the Dogs. And for the very last one, this honestly should not come up surprise because of what he's done this season and what there's a quote that he said multiple times before, and they might as well put it on his jersey because it seems like this is absolutely true when it comes to this guy. Former wide receiver for LSU. There are multiple players that have come from the school that have been playing, that have been very, very good. Some have been decent, but either way, he played in the SEC. His former quarterback from LSU, is also his quarterback now in the NFL. Some people call that cheating, but hey, it's just divine intervention. He is being considered the best wide receiver in the league right now. Let's just go ahead and pull him up. Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is having a fantastic season this season. There are still 4 games left for him to play. Still 4 games left to play. And these are his numbers for the season right now. 93 catches, number 1 in the league. 1,319 yards, number 1 in the league. 15 touchdowns, also number 1 in the league. And he's only averaging 14.2 yards per catch. That's not even top 5 or top 10. But you say, hey, how was he the big dog of the week if he's not even averaging more than that? Well, you just heard those numbers. He pretty much is the Triple Crown winner right now when it comes to wide receivers right now. Remember that happened to Cooper Kupp and just a few seasons ago? He won a Triple Crown. Yeah, this is happening right now with Jamar Chase. And this is a contract season for him. He said that he deserves to be paid more than Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson has been considered the best wide receiver in the league. There has been arguments in our NFL chat over who is better between A.J. Brown and Jamar Chase. Well, right now, Jamar Chase seems to be screaming that it's him. In the very last game that he played, he had 14 catches for 177 yards and 2 touchdowns, 9 catches for first down, and 4 catches of 15-plus yards. My goodness. Jamar Chase is a monster at the wide receiver position. He was also named the Offensive Player of the Week. I mean, I don't blame him. There's no reason to not call him the Offensive Player of the Week after he put up numbers like that. And we know he has the most yards in a game this season with 264 he had against the Ravens on a Thursday night football game, even though they lost. But he had his 2 best games against the division rival Ravens, and they lost both games. So this offense is on fire, but the defense is just not helping them. The defense is not helping them right now. The Bengals are 5-8 right now on the outside looking in for the playoffs, and they think they still have a chance to get in, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. But Jamar Chase, man, he's balling. He's definitely in conversation for Offensive Player of the Year. You know, you got other guys like Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley that are in that conversation, but Jamar Chase is definitely up there. And if he wins the Triple Crown, it's going to be hard to not give him that. It's going to be difficult to not give him that. Jamar Chase is clearly the big dog of the week. I don't think there would have been any other good choice other than Jamar Chase. So, Jamar Chase, man, you are the big dog of the week. So, welcome to the big dogs. And being the big dog, Jamar Chase. Thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all for watching Dave's Doghouse. Again, make sure you like, share, subscribe on the channel. See you guys later at 7 p.m. on the R2L Show with Joe. I believe we have Mark coming on today. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. See y'all next time. All right? My guy, you in the doghouse.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button, no matter what you're listening to or watching it. hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.